Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup FreeFM 89.0 as your host, Grady Hooker. We'll jump into this day in history. WWF had 3 Madison Square Garden shows. In 1971, Pedro Morales retained his WWF Championship against Stan Stasiak. In 1976, Bruno Sammartino retained his WWF Championship against Nikolai Volkov. And in 1998, the New Age Outlaws retained the WWF Tag Team Championships against Nation of Domination. Then there was a WCW Nitro in 1999, 3 WWE Raws in 1999, 2004, and 2010, and then TNA Impact in 2012. But more importantly, there were also a few pay-per-views. WCW Halloween Havoc in 1992 in an unsanctioned main event. Sting managed to defeat Jake the Snake Roberts in a coal miner's glove match. And then again in 1998, this time Goldberg defeated Diamond Dallas Page to retain his WCW Championship. And over on WWE 2009, Bragging Rights, the SmackDown brand won the pay-per-view 2-1, while in the main event John Cena defeated Randy Orton in an Iron Man match 6-5. So now we'll jump into the classic entrance theme of the week. It's Razor Ramones. Hey, you're back with the Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady Hooker, and live via Skype right now I've got Josh.
Yay.
We'll start off on Raw. Shawn Michaels actually opened the show.
Just to remind us, he's going to play it down the middle, that he's going to make sure that a WWE champion walks out of Hell in the Cell, that he knows what these two are going to be getting themselves into, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then Orton sort of tried an RKO on him, and then Shawn tried a Sweet Chin Music.
Yeah, kind of playing up that Orton and Shawn still don't like each other, and it may give you an idea that maybe there'll be a screw job on Orton.
Yeah.
But what will probably happen is it'll probably be an attempted screw job, and Bryan will end up taking the Sweet Chin Music, resulting in Orton becoming the next WWE champion.
Right at the end of the segment, Miz came out and ambushed Randy Orton, leading straight into their match for the night.
Yeah, for some reason, Miz seems to be Orton's whipping boy of late.
I don't think he's just Orton's whipping boy, with the Wyatt family coming out and causing the distraction.
Yeah, and I loved how they did it in such a way that you couldn't see that the officials had to carry Bray out.
Yeah.
Because since he is still injured.
Fair.
But it was just the further the Miz Wyatt family feud, while giving Orton somebody that he can beat up on.
Fair enough. Straight after that, Fandango versus Santino Marella.
Well, honestly, I don't like Summer Rae.
What?
She looks good. I'll give her that. But when it comes to her position as Fandango's valet, she fails miserably because it looks almost like she doesn't care that she's up there to represent Fandango. She puts on an air that she's there for one reason and one reason only, and that's Summer Rae.
Fair enough.
I don't have really much to say about this match. It was a comedy match.
It was a match. So moving on, Heyman complains to Brad Maddox and he sets the Beat the Clock challenge.
Yeah, a Beat the Clock challenge to set the stipulation for the Punk and Ryback main event match at Hell in a Cell.
Yep. Which we can do it now. Ryback took on R-Truth.
And Heyman guy Axel got Punk.
Yeah. Ryback won his match in a fairly short amount of time.
And if I remember correctly, it was 5 minutes and 43 seconds.
Somewhere around there. But then CM Punk came out and beat it by 12 seconds.
Yeah, Punk's match was like 5:28 or something like that. Punk decided that he was going to do a 2-on-1 handicap match inside the Hell in the Cell structure.
Very similar to the one Heyman wanted.
But with added the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
Which is alright, because it really needed a second cell match. And honestly, if you're not going to go with that match, then there's really no match that deserves it. Because you can't put Cena in his return back in that particular match.
Okay. Well, the next match all the way back up at the top was Los Matadors taking on your favourite opponents for them.
Yes, another 3MB match for Los Matadores. Oh boy. It's kind of like, But the best part was El Torito again.
Isn't it always El Torito?
Yep, that is definitely what's getting this team over with the crowd. Is definitely the little masked luchador.
Straight after that, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are in the ring, and they're not too happy.
Yeah, they finally looks like they flipped the switch to go full blown villain.
Yeah.
With this promo. There's no wavering now. They are who they are, and they're villains.
No more nice matches on SmackDown.
Nope. We see Brian to come out to try to rebuttal, and he gets kicked in the face by Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah. Sounds like a fair punishment.
Who then is made to be his opponent.
Yeah.
For the night.
Stephanie McMahon also sets Tamina taking on Brie after the Beat the Clock match.
Yeah, not sure. It looks like they're going for another AJ Brie match at Hell in a Cell.
That would definitely be my guess.
Which is I'm all right with, because Brie is much better in the ring now than she has been in the past.
She's better than Eva Marie.
Everybody's better than Eva Marie.
I haven't seen JoJo actually wrestle yet.
Well, the bar's set so low that it'd be hard to say that she couldn't be better.
Okay. The next match, the Real Americans take on Tons of Funk. Or should I say the next match, Cesaro Swing.
Yeah, the Cesaro Swing match. And Sweet Tea got it this time.
Not for as long as some of the other people.
But Sweet Tea weighs almost 400 pounds, so you can't expect Cesaro to be able to swing him 30, 40 times.
It definitely showed off Cesaro's strength.
And as I've been saying all along, this swing is getting the crowd behind him.
Yeah.
And it's leading, I feel, towards him breaking off from the Real Americans and going off on his own to be a upper mid-card star.
Okay, well, later on SmackDown we'll talk about their immediate future, but right now it was the Nikki Bella-Tamina match.
This was a good match. Tamina can go. Brie has begun to be able to go in the ring. And this was absolutely just decimated Brie Bella by Tamina, which was to set up a further segment later on in the show.
Yeah. AJ didn't seem to do too much during the match as a distraction.
No, she was just there to watch her future opponent.
Fair
basically.
Then that match we were talking about before, Daniel Bryan took on Alberto Del Rio.
Yes. Which was a good match. They're both very good wrestlers. I'm not too keen on the way the match ended, but that's because it was a countout. But it further played up the Orton-Bryan feud.
Yeah, it was definitely a different ending, but nah.
It was definitely up there with differences, but Bryan took off, got counted out to try to go save his fiance, and got decimated by Randy Orton.
Yeah. But in the main event, Triple H had just made the match no DQ. It was a title match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. The Rhodes family taking on The Shield.
And your new WWE Tag Team Champions of the World, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, the Rhodes Brothers.
Thanks to Big Show.
Yes. It was a great main event. Tag team match.
I got that was your opinion.
Yeah. These four really put on an amazing show. And then you had the big show come out and just when you least expected it, because you didn't really you knew something was going to go on, but you didn't know who or what.
Yeah, are we sure Big Show's fired? He's sort of shown up every single week.
Yeah. On SmackDown, didn't he show up with a autographed ticket or something?
Yeah, he came in with from Bryan.
Yeah, an autographed ticket from Daniel Bryan. That was weird, but yeah, but it was definitely shocking that the Shield lost the tag team titles.
It's about time.
Yeah. Still, it leaves you wondering about the Usos.
Yeah, I'm pretty
who
sure.
Who were supposed to be the ones that get this match.
Pretty sure on SmackDown they talked a little bit about how the Usos haven't forgotten that they are #1 contenders.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll get a triple threat match at Hell in a Cell to cover all the bases.
Fair enough. We'll just jump to SmackDown. Boing. The Wyatt family, they took on The Miz and his partner Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, Kofi Kingston's in mid-card hell.
Or is he in the Wyatt hell?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate side for Kofi. It's just, he can't get any traction. And I do love that clothesline of Luke Harper.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of JBL's.
Fair enough.
So I am a fan of Luke Harper. I was a fan of Luke Harper before he signed with the WWE as Brody Lee. So,
okay.
So he's a very talented big man.
I think I read somewhere that the tag team of The Miz and Kofi Kingston are like 2-1 or something. They beat Cesaro and Wade Barrett last year in some segment, so their odds aren't too bad as a tag team.
It's just weird, especially when you consider at the end of last year, Kofi Kingston gave The Miz a concussion and he woke up as a good guy.
Well, there you go.
That's the whole thing I remembered about that whole feud was Kofi Kingston won the Intercontinental Championship, gave him a vicious Trouble in Paradise, and when Miz woke up a good guy.
Fair enough. The next match, Brie Bella took on AJ Lee.
This is definitely to set up a Divas Championship match at the pay-per-view.
Yep.
We'll have to see if they include anybody else in the match or not, or if they do a stipulation or something. But it's definitely these two are definitely going to duke it out for the Divas Championship.
Yeah, Brie actually
Brie
covered.
will probably come away with the title this time.
Okay. Well, we did see that Brie can beat AJ.
Yes.
We'll go on to the next match. CM Punk took on Biggie Langston.
before that, we had the Big show up with his autographed ticket and knock out and give Brad Maddox a concussion.
You just wanted to talk about Brad Maddox getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, to the match, CM Punk ended up beating Big E.
A very good match. People don't realize that Big E Langston can wrestle for being a big guy like that.
Yeah.
And I really am excited to see where they go with him, because it was very clear after the end of this match, Big E is not a villain anymore.
No. He likes all of the good guys.
Yep, he is going to be a fan favorite. And if anything in NXT show anything, Big E Langston as a good guy will have a lot of charisma, especially if they let him do the 5-count gimmick.
Talking about the 5 count, segue. We'll play our current entrance theme of the week. And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Hooker and Josh. We'll jump into SmackDown where we left off. Alberto Del Rio cut a nice promo, but then breaks Josh Matthews' arm.
Josh Matthews has now become Matt Striker. Because he gets beat up by everybody on the roster.
Yeah. Sad, sad thing.
But at least Josh Matthews knows how to keep his mouth shut so he can keep his job as a commentator.
Fair enough. Talking about keeping your mouth shut, something Zeb Coulter does not do very well when on commentary.
No, but Zeb Coulter is a very genius guy. He can get anybody to hate him.
Yeah.
And that's a very good talent for him as a manager and as a creative person. They want to use him in that role.
Well, he's got to be careful or he's going to get gored again.
Yeah, yeah. They got it by his team. The Real Americans got beat by the Usos, and then proceeded to get beat up by the Matadores.
But before that, the important part of the match is the Cesaro swing and swing and swing and swing.
Woo!
Oh, that went on for ages.
WrestleMania when he does that to somebody for 101 times. That will be insane.
That swing went longer than most 3MB matches. But, yeah, the number one contenders to the tag team titles picked it up, and it looks like we're heading into a Real Americans Los Matadors match.
Yeah, it looks like the tag team division is picking up a little steam.
Choo-choo.
Main eventing Raw and SmackDown. You have the two of the hottest properties as the champions, and you had the hottest property as tag team champions for much of the last year, when you consider Team Hell No as well.
Yeah.
And the Shield. So it's looking like we're starting to see the tag team division wake up a little bit.
Yeah, so talking about the main event, Daniel Bryan and the Rhodes Brothers took on the Shield.
Yeah, this was a great main event. But you can't expect any less when you consider these are 6 of the best wrestlers in the company.
Yep. I'm happy with that comment.
Yeah. The finish of the match was with Daniel Bryan connecting with his running knee finisher.
Dem knees.
Yeah. Only Daniel Bryan could deliver that move and make it look deadly.
Yeah. Well, talking about Bryan, segue again. I'm like the segue king today. Heading into the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, who do you think's going to win the WWE Championship match? Bryan versus Orton with the special guest ref.
I've already alluded to who I think will win.
Yeah.
Versus who I actually want to win. But,
so you want Bryan, you think Orton.
Yeah, I believe Orton will walk out here, probably due to some sort of miscommunication between the special guest referee and Daniel Bryan. where it'll be where Orton pisses off Shawn Michaels enough that he goes to switch in music him. Orton ducks and Daniel Bryan catches it, and Shawn Michaels is forced to count for 3.
Fair enough. There's definitely going to be some incident with Shawn Michaels, or else there was no use putting him in there.
Yeah. WWE has been wanting to use Shawn since August in this storyline.
Fair enough. Moving to the other Hell in a Cell match, handicap match, CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman.
Well, I told you before that Survivor Series is advertising Heyman versus Punk. So I think Punk has to win here, but Paul Heyman somehow escapes harm.
Yeah. Pretty sure there's a door to the cell.
Yeah. But he somehow gets away from Punk, and they finally book the match for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Where there is absolutely no way out for Paul Heyman.
Do you think we'll see any Brock Lesnar or Curtis Axel involvement?
Curtis Axel, yes. Brock Lesnar, we probably won't see him until the Royal Rumble.
Okay. I think that's all that's been announced at this point, but let's just start throwing out guesses. I'm definitely seeing AJ put her title up against Brie.
Yeah, we pretty much have said that's coming, that will happen. And I think Brie Bella will walk out with the Divas Championship this time.
Fair enough. Throwing out another match that Brandon couldn't stop telling me, thinking he'll happen, the Intercontinental Championship match. He thinks Big E will take on Curtis Axel.
It wouldn't surprise me a bit, and I'm expecting it, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me if it opened up the show on the kickoff.
Okay.
And I would expect Big E Langston, under the guise of his big seen the light moment, knocks off Curtis Axel and becomes your new WWE Intercontinental Champion.
Fair enough. Well, we'll have to wait a week and we'll find out. It's been great talking to you.
Great being on again.
So in birthdays this week, we've got Saria Knight, NXT diva Paige's mum. She turns 41. The bad guy Scott Hall turns 55. Current All Japan Pro Wrestling wrestler D'Lo Brown turns 44. Current TNA wrestler Chavo Guerrero turns 43. Current WWE diva Rosa Mendez turns 34. And one half of the greatest tag team in the world, Bushwhacker Butch, turns 68. In a New Zealand recap, there was 2 shows up this weekend. NZWPW's Right to Challenge, Stella Hammer and Thor managed to defeat Misty and Mr. Silver. Adam Avalanche defeated Skull Kid. Amy St. Clair somehow defeated Uncle Kermit, don't ask. In an NZWPW Championship match, Chad Howard sacrificed his Hatoya Cup for a chance at the title, but ended up losing to Ben Mana. De Hoya defeated JC Starr. Hayden Thiel and Osiris fought to a no contest, leading to the CWO turning it into a tag team bout, in which Axel and Osiris easily won after bending the rules. And in the main event, the Right to Challenge match, Dreamcatcher and JC Starr made sure Roddy Gunn could defeat Johnny Idol, Paul Sayers and Taylor Adams to win the future NZWPW Championship match at a time of his choosing. For IPW, they had Nightmare Road Right to Reclaim. Alfred Valentine defeated Pat Shisk, and then Kurt Chaos came out and defeated Pirate Burns following a distraction from the strong style supervillain Liger. Then we saw a tag team action with this new debuting tag team, 10-7, taking on Aaron Henry and Jacob Cross, the new Agents of Change. 10-7 got the win after Twin Magic, and then they unmasked themselves to reveal they were actually TNT. And then we had Khan, he managed to defeat Mason Daniels. Tycade defeated Kingy after the Agents of Change came out and interfered, leading to Kingy getting kicked in the face. IPW Women's Championship No. 1 contendership match, Evie managed to pick up the win over Brittany with the double stomp. And in the main event blindfold match for the IPW NZ Heavyweight Championship, Vinnie Dunn managed to defeat James Shaw with a submission with his ankle lock after lots and lots and lots of interferences. So that's it for this week. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling R Radio. And I'll see you next week.